Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Unfortunately, today's title is not clickbait at all. As of right now, racing season is suspended. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Oregon, so right now, public gatherings are not allowed. All race events have been canceled, so as of right now, I'm filming this in March, and they're canceled at the minimum through April. Hopefully we can get back to doing events sooner rather than later, but I mean, I don't really have any control over it, and I kind of get it with everything going on. It does make me feel bad though, because this car doesn't see much love. I don't know if the camera picks it up very well, but this thing is layered in dust. I think this will pick it up pretty well right here. You can see all the dust, and then there was my finger mark. That's bad. On a quick side note, the paint on this car is actually pretty bad, so I know that people may say something like, you shouldn't rub your finger on the dust, it's gonna scratch the paint. The paint already sucks, so I'm not too worried about that. So I will give you a quick update on some of the cars though. First off, the car really does need a bath. Second off, I have to figure out the whole suspension stuff, which I'm in the process of doing. So my initial plan was just to focus on driving. Obviously, I really can't do that with the events canceled. But what I can do is try to figure out a better suspension setup so it makes the performance more accessible. One of the things I have mentioned is that the back end of this car loves to step out. The back end of this car is so dang tail happy. And obviously suspension setup's really complicated, but I've been doing a little bit of research, so I'm not an expert, but I've been reading Alex Wilhelm's stuff. For those who don't know who that is, when it comes to second gen MR2s, he's like the suspension guru. So my car has Tane S-Tech lowering springs. One of the things I figured out through reading the stuff that Alex has put out is that in terms of suspension frequency, the back is stiffened considerably more than the front. I actually think that could be part of the reason why the car's tail happy. Obviously the sway bar setting comes into it, but this car's always been very, very tail happy, which is surprising considering the front, the back tires are 245/45s. And they're Toyo R888s. Those are pretty sticky tires. So as of right now, I'll definitely be going with Coney yellow shocks. I don't know exactly what springs I'll be running. I want to do a little bit more research on those. Now, I have actually considered going something like a BC coilover. My only issue with them is just the inconsistent valving. Again, I've kind of been religiously reading stuff out there, and their quality control has been inconsistent. And I'll be honest, there's also the other fact that I'm kind of torn in that, will that make a big difference at the end of the day? I think it would if I was a driver who consistently drove the car to the limit. And as much as I have an ego, I have to admit I have a lot of work to do. So it is kind of a toss-up, but I think for the moment I'm definitely going with the Coneys and some choice of lowering spring. I don't know what yet. I'm also going to change the brake setup on the car. My plan for the brakes is to put a more aggressive pad in the back and leave the front alone. For those who don't know, that's actually a really common thing to do with MR2s, mainly though MR2s that see track time. Because you got all that weight in the back along with bigger tires, that allows for a more aggressive pad in the back, so that's going to equal to better braking. Again though, I want to reiterate, that's typically something you only see on like track oriented cars, so if you have a daily driver, I would probably not follow that advice. So those are going to be the things that will happen over the next few weeks. Hopefully, pretty much the big thing right now is if I can get parts. I know that a lot of places are shutting down, so I hope that's not too much of an issue, but we'll see. Now that we got that update, I'm actually going to touch on the Honda Acti that my brother has. This car has not seen much love on the channel lately. The reason for that is pretty simple. Because of the coronavirus stuff going on, places are closed, so we're either not able to get parts, or if people are selling them, they are stupid expensive. Like, we literally don't want to pay $500 for some freaking tie rods. It's pretty ridiculous. This car is pretty much just going to idle in the background until we can either get reasonable prices on parts or places start opening back up. We'll see whatever happens first. In the meantime though, we will still drive this car and enjoy it. So guys, that's the video. Pretty quick recap. Race season suspended for the moment, and pretty much both of the cars are going to sit idly by. Turbo will see some love, but the Acti's just going to have to sit in the background. Definitely stay posted to the channel though. We have some cool stuff coming up, especially next week. We got a new car that we get to play with. So I'll see you guys in the next one.